Hello everyone, I'm Archana and I'm honored today to invite Venerable Bhante Sumitta for the Dhamma sharing on the topic Power of Triple Gem. Bhante Sumitta is the founder of Dhamma USA. He is actively engaged in social welfare and spiritual care programs in California. He conducts Dhamma talks, sutta discussions, meditations, and Pali language classes, apart from helping many underprivileged people in Sri Lanka. He started U West Pali Society to promote Pali studies and Buddhist art and culture. Currently, he works as a faculty at Right Mindfulness Training Academy. He has completed two bachelor's and three master's degree prior to accomplishing his doctoral degree at the University of the West. And thank you so much, Bhante, for giving me this wonderful opportunity of introducing you. And I really, really appreciate that. Now, may I please kindly request you to start your valuable Dhamma? Thank you so much, Bhante.
Samantha Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadhamang Munirajas Sunantu Sagga Mokkadam Dhammasavana kalo ayam padanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam padanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam padanta Koti sata sahasesu cakkavalesu devata yang kanang patiganhang tu yang cavesa liang pure Roga manussa dubbhika sanghutang tividang bhayang Kipamantara dhapese paretang tang bhanamahe. Good morning, dear Dhamma friends. All those people who are joining us from different parts of the world, good morning to you in the West, people in the West, and also to good evening to those who are joining us from the eastern parts of the world, or what we say, like mostly the people from Asia. The power of Triple Gem is a topic that I kept today, thinking of one particular sutta. But before going to that particular sutta, I also would like to say a few words about the Triple Gem in general. The Triple Gem, when we say Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, they are so important, such integral parts of our life that really helps us in many, many different ways. We know how powerful it is when it comes to the Triple Gem, especially those people who are along the path. We know the Buddha, he is so wonderful. He was born in this world 2,500 years ago, and then he sacrificed his life and energy for the benefit, for the welfare, well-being, and happiness of so many people, and not only humans, but also celestial beings and devas and brahmas, and also um, many different kinds of other sentient beings, even those sentient beings in the lower realms, and even the animals. So all sentient beings, including all sentient beings, he has done so much sacrifice. And so he renounced the worldly life, mundane life, thinking of enlightening himself, achieving enlightenment. And then he was able to achieve the enlightenment at such a prime age, uh, at the age of 35. And after that, we know he already uttered a very powerful utterance. Um, that utterance says he has been searching for the builder of this house, for the creator of this world, and finally he could find the one who was building. He was praying. This creator of the world was playing uh, hide and seek game with him. And finally, the Buddha said, I figured out, I decoded the mystery of this samsaric circle, and I could come out of this. And this creator of the world, or the builder of this house, will never be able to um, build the house anymore for me, Buddha said. And that is amazing. And so for 45 long years, then he was working for the well-being and happiness of the many. He was walking, even though he could easily use his magical powers. He could be airborne, he could go wherever he wants, but every time, whenever possible, he was only using his human capacity as a human being, very humble, very simple human being. That again is a great reminder to us how important it is to be simple and humble in our life. So the Buddha walked many thousands and thousands of miles in the central part of India, and he could sleep under the trees, inside the caves, and he was very comfortable in the fast with very simple, very little, requirements for himself. And of course, when he attained the enlightenment, many people offered him temples. A numerous number of large temples were offered to him, and things like the kings like Bimbisara, he offered Veluvana monastery, and then King Kosala also offered him Ghositaran, and then um, Jetavana monastery was offered by Anatha Pindika, and Visakha offered him the Pubbarama, and Shakya clan, they offered him the Grodharama. Many temples were offered to him, but the Buddha did not have any sort of attachment or any craving or desire to be called himself the abbot of such and such temple. We never see uh, under his belt like he is the person with those temples. He could stay there very little time, and then he could teach the Dhamma, yes, but he walked and he walked and he worked for the better, um, for the welfare and happiness of so many people. This is uh, truly inspiring and motivating to all of us, and how simple his lifestyle. Even I remember when I went to Savatthi, present day Sahet Mahet in modern day India, um, the simple Jetavana monastery structure, the plan is so simple, and his Gandhakuti also is not so extravagant. It is very simple. Wherever he lived such a simple life, and we can imagine the power of these wonderful masters, the enlightened ones. Along with the Buddha, there were so many Arahanta monks, and in the Jetavana monastery, Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Moggallana, Venerable Mahakassapa was also there for a while, Venerable Angulimala, Venerable Sivali, Venerable Ananda, so many. We can talk about countless such enlightened monks. So wonderful to hear of the stories of these uh, really humble and dispassionate monks who have got rid of every speck of uh, all the um, all the defilement. This is an amazing story, and the more we talk about them, the more we learn about these wonderful Arahant monks, and also the nuns. We should not forget Mahapajapati, the Arahant Mahapajapati, and Yasodhara, and also Kema Uppalavanna, um, even Patachara, and so many other Kisa Gotami, and so many other wonderful Arahanta Bhikkhunis. They have also blessed every single step they walked, and every single individual they met. They have blessed, and they have tried their best by walking along the roads wherever they went. They met so many people, so many other suffering beings, so many other individuals who were in need of the Dhamma, and these wonderful bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, these arahant monks and nuns, they have helped them tried to rescue them from this samsaric suffering. And therefore, the power of the triple gem is so important to all of us. And the Buddha, um, he is so important to all of us. Why? Because he was enlightened all by himself, and then he preached the Dhamma, a doctrine, a teaching that is so amazingly powerful, and even today in this ultra modern world that we live, we can still feel such invaluable essence of that Dhamma, and eternal applicability of the Dhamma, which is so important. So every time we read the Dhamma, read the suttas, we feel so blessed, we feel so happy, and we feel um, we are connected to the Buddha Dhamma. One time there was a monk, and he, even before becoming a monk, actually, he used to come to the monastery when the Buddha was teaching, when he was preaching the Dhamma in the Dhamma Sabha Mandapa or Dhamma Hall, um, the assembly of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, upasakas and upasikas. This person was looking at the Buddha, and he was so fascinated by his physical pleasantness, the features that he had, and his kind, compassionate gestures, and his words, everything. He was so passionate about. And then he kept looking, he kept gazing at the Buddha. So we should not forget that this is we talked about we talk about Buddha Anusati, contemplation on the Buddha. But this is not contemplation on the Buddha. This was passionate looking, gazing, with kind of attachment to the Buddha. And Buddha recognized this, Buddha identified this, and he gave a very powerful teaching to this person. And he even wanted to become a monk. Why? He wanted to become a monk so that he can keep looking at the Buddha. He can keep seeing the Buddha. And it's true. It can happen to us. Sometimes when we go to the temple and when we look at the Buddha statue, they are so wonderful. Such amazingly powerful things are there. And what we can say, how important it is to um, be connected to the Buddha. When we look at this Buddha statue, even we can feel the aura of the Buddha. We can feel the energy of the Buddha. That is very natural. But then by looking at the Buddha statue, it doesn't really help us. It doesn't make so much benefit to us. What we need to do, the Buddha said, um, the monk's name was Vakali. So the Buddha said, Yoko Vakali Dhammam Pasati. So Mang Pasati, Yo Mang Pasati, so Dhammam Pasati. Vakali, if someone sees me, he has to see the Dhamma. And if someone sees the Dhamma, he definitely sees me. So this is really an inspiration, a very powerful Dhamma to us, a teaching to us, a lesson to us, a message to us. That means even today, you and I have the opportunity to uh, to listen to the Dhamma, to read the Dhamma, to see the Dhamma. We have the Dhamma uh, within our range, so we can read the Dhamma, we can learn the Dhamma, we can practice the Dhamma, and when we see the Dhamma, we can see the Buddha. We can be connected to the Buddha. So this is the most invaluable asset that we have today. We have the Dhamma, so we can learn and practice through this Dhamma. We can see this wonderful master, the Buddha, the enlightened one. That is why the Buddha said, Yo Dhammam Pasati Somam Pasati. So today is a time for all of us to think of that power of the Buddha, power of the Dhamma, and power of the Sangha. And I think it is every single day when we talk about the Buddha, we remember how we chant every single day by uh, by paying homage to the Buddha. We say Itipiso Bhagava Arahano Samma Sambuddho Vijja Charana Sampanno Sugato Lokavido Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Sattha Deva Manusana Buddho Bhagavati. So these are 9 virtues of the Buddha, not all the virtues of the Buddha, but for predominant 9 virtues of the Buddha that's mentioned here. Such indeed is the Blessed One, Itipiso Bhagava, an Arahang exalted one, the worthy one. Samma Sambuddha, perfectly enlightened one. And then Vidya Charana Sampanno, endowed with knowledge and virtues. And if Lokavidu, he would know the world, knower of the world. And Sugata is well gone, Lokavidu, knower of the world. And Anuttaro Purishadam Sarati, supreme trainer of persons to be trained. Anuttaro Purishadam Sarati, Sattha Deva Manusanang, teacher of gods and men, and Buddho Bhagava, enlightened and blessed. So Buddha had these qualities within him, and these qualities are the ones that we actually pay respect to. And by reciting this Gatha every single day, we think of the Buddha, we pay respect to him for his enormous sacrifice for by um, practicing and by realizing the Dhamma and teaching the Dhamma to us and showing us the path so that we can dispel the darkness of ignorance, so we can see the light and we can be enlightened one day. And the Buddha gave us so such a wonderful opportunity. And the Buddha said, the Dhamma is your beacon of light. That is our flashlight so that we can see the path. The navigation is there within our range. So we should walk by ourselves. And the Buddha said, Tathagata Pavedite Dhamma Vinaya. Vivato Virochati. So the Dhamma, the more we open up, the more we investigate, the more we explore the Dhamma, so much will it shine, so much will it illuminate. So the Dhamma will not be shining when it is hidden, but the Dhamma will be shining more when it is really explored, investigated, and specially practiced. So we need to practice the Dhamma to see the Dhamma. When we see the Dhamma, we can actually see the Buddha. And in the second stanza, uh, we recite Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditthiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Pachattam Veditabo Vinyohi. So there are few more qualities of the Dhamma again. Remember, the Buddha said to Venerable Ananda when he was so confused as to whom that he could keep as his teacher. The Buddha said, um, after the Buddha's passing away, Dhamma will be your teacher. So Dhamma will be our guide, our coach, our teacher. So the Buddha asked Venerable Ananda to keep the Dhamma intact. Every time we need to match the Dhamma Vinaya. And that way we will not be alone. So even today, when we have something, some question, some problem, some puzzle in our life, we need to match with the Dhamma. I think Dhamma Vinaya will definitely be very helpful to all of us in that way. So the Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo, well expounded is the Dhamma by the Blessed One. Um, Sanvitthiko, visible here and now, and Akaliko, not delayed in time. Ehipasiko, inviting one to come and see, and Opanaiko, onward leading to Nibbana. Pachatang Veditabo Vinyodi, to be attained by the wise, each for himself. So when we look at the Dhamma, when we see the Dhamma, when we listen to the Dhamma, we need to really pay respect to the Dhamma. And also when we listen to a Dhamma talk, we have to be really respectful to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And we also have to really focus and concentrate when we do it. I remember there was one monk, he used to say all the time, when you listen to Dhamma, don't look here and there. Don't eat food while listening to Dhamma, but try to focus, try to concentrate, just like a meditation. When you do that, the Dhamma will come to you. You will be more, you will be able to focus more, and you will be able to actually practice Dhamma and do things better. So that is why the Dhamma is so important. And also the quality is well expounded is the Dhamma. We know how powerful the Dhamma is, and we know how the Buddha, when he said, Swakhato, well said, well expounded, and Sanditthiko, we can see the result right here, right now, and do not wait to see the result of the Dhamma for so many births to come. But we need to think that the result, the benefit of the Dhamma will be available right here, right now. So within this birth itself, we need to see the result of this Dhamma practice. So today, I also would like to encourage all our friends who are listening to this, who are watching this, to be inspired, to be motivated, that the Dhamma is there within our range. We are so lucky, and then we should be able to practice the Dhamma, learn the Dhamma, associate with the wonderful people who know the Dhamma. There can be monks, there can be nuns, there can be upasakas and upasikas who know the Dhamma. Even one single stanza, if someone knows it better and practice it better, we can learn from such people. We have to be humble and simple, and we need to actually listen to that, and we need to practice the Dhamma. This is really important. And there can be little boys and girls sometimes. They even they know a little bit of Dhamma that we don't know. So we should be able to practice the Dhamma. We should be able to learn the Dhamma from them. It is perfectly all right. And so the Dhamma is there for us to see the result right here, right now. And Akaliko means it is eternal. The result, the Dhamma is applicable, not delayed in time, Akalika. So the result can be seen every single time we practice. And ehipasiko means the Buddha did not ask us to blindly follow him, blindly have faith in him, but the Buddha said we need to see the practice, and you come and see. The Buddha said, ehipasiko, come and see the Dhamma and see for yourself. You don't have to blindly follow the Dhamma. That is why it is so important. And that is why we feel so happy about the Dhamma, and so happy about the Buddha, and so respectful towards the Buddha, just because of that. And therefore, we need to practice the Dhamma, we need to listen to the Dhamma, and we can see the Dhamma all by ourselves. And it will lead us to Nibbana. Opanayika means Upanayati means you will be leading. Upanayati means to lead. Nayati means to carry. Upanayati means lead closer to where? To the Nibbana, to absence, the absolute absence of the total defilements. And Pachattan vedita bovinyuhiti. This is where you and I have been empowered by the Buddha. Pachattan vedita bovinyuhiti. If you are a wise person, if you have the association of wonderful Kalyana with the friends, and if you have the access to Dhamma, and if you learn the Dhamma and practice the Dhamma, then you have the opportunity to um, um, attain the enlightenment all by yourself. This is Pachatang Vedita Povinamiti, attained by the wise. Um, so individually, we have the capacity to learn the Dhamma, to practice the Dhamma, to attain the final liberation. One more thing, which is so inspiring in the Buddha Dhamma, that is um, you and I have the Buddha nature within us. If you want to decide, I want to become a Buddha, you can do it. If you want, I'm sure it's not going to happen this birth. If you want to become a Sambuddha, but if you want to be an Arahant, definitely you have the opportunity, you have the chance to achieve it within this birth. We need to make. I know there are some other requirements, other prerequisites, but yet we need to try. We need to work hard, and then only we will be able to get closer, inch closer to the final liberation. So I definitely would like to invite all the friends who are watching this, who are listening to this Dhamma talk. Please use this time. This is a very, very wonderful opportunity, a golden opportunity for you and me. And we need to work on this. We need to learn the Dhamma, practice the Dhamma. Every single day, we should try to attain the final liberation. At least Sotapanna is the most um, wonderful way so that we can be guaranteed of our final liberation. So think of the Dhamma, practice the Dhamma, see the Dhamma, and then you can see the Buddha. And then the third um, um, gem actually is the Sangha. So when we say Sangha, we always pay homage to the Sangha. Iti supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho nyaya patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho samici patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yugani Atha Purisa Puggala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Pahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyaketang Lokasati. So this is a very popular chant. I know every one of you, most of you know that. And if you don't know, you need to learn it by heart. And think of the meaning, every single word of these three chants, Itipiso, Swakhato, and Supatipanno. That way, we will be reminded every single day the power of the triple gem, the value of the triple gem, and so we can get closer to become ourselves, called ourselves one day, and Arya Savaka, noble disciple. And let's see how we can do it. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, of good conduct is the order of the disciples of the Blessed One. His disciples are always well behaved with a good conduct. So, lay people, as lay people, you have 5 precepts and 8 precepts and 10 precepts. And as novice monks and nuns, you have 10 precepts. And as Upasampada, or higher ordained monks, you have 220 plus 7 Adhikaran Samatas. And then you have 311 precepts for as bhikkhuni. So all of us have set code of conduct to guide our life, to behave well, to maintain good conduct. Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, and they are of upright conduct. Of upright conduct is the order of the disciples of the Blessed One. So they are also not vacillating, not hesitating when it comes to Dhamma. They are very clear, they are very straightforward, they are very upright in their practice. And Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, of wise conduct, is the order of the disciples of the Blessed One. Samichi Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, of dutiful conduct, is the order of the disciples of the Blessed One. And Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pugala. This is very important. When we call Arya Savaka, these are the people that we can actually call Arya Savaka. So you and I have to work hard to be included into this category. So Chattari Purisa, Chattari Purisa Yugani. Yuga means the double. So double is Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahanta, Magga and Phala, path and fruition, stream entry, once returner, non-returner, and the enlightened being. So path and fruition, Magga Phala. That way we can see the noble eight persons, Arya Savakas. Chattari Purisa Yugani, Atta Purisa Puddara. They are called eight noble individuals, eight kinds of individuals. And as Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, this is the disciples, the community of disciples, of the Blessed One. And they are Ahuneyu, they are worthy of gifts. Pahuneyo, worthy of reverence, salutation, and Dakhineyo, the worthy of offerings, and Anjali Karaniyo, worthy of reverence, Ahuneyo, worthy of gift, Pahuneyo, worthy of hospitality, and Dakhineyo, worthy of offerings, and Anjali Karaniyo, worthy of reverential salutation. And Anuttaram Punya Kittam Lokasati, they are an immeasurable, incomparable field of merit for the world. So you and I have the capacity, have the opportunity to generate more and more wholesome karma by paying respect to them, and by listening to their Dhamma, and by taking care of them, by offering them, by doing many like four requisites, Chivara, Pindapata, Senasana, Ginana, Pache, their robes as monks, and then monks and nuns, and also for their meal, and also for a place for them to live, and then also the medical requirements, medicinal requirements for them. If we can provide them, we can also help them in many different ways. They are worthy of gifts, and you can invite them to your house or wherever, and they are worthy of hospitality and worthy of offerings, and so we can offer them requisites and reverential salutation. We can actually pay homage to them. We can pay respect to them because they are worthy of being respected. And that is why I want to say today, like when we say the Mahasangha, for example, in today's context in many Theravada countries, when we offer something to the Mahasangha, we say, Imam Bhikkang, Bhikkhu Sangha Sadema, or Imam Bhikkang Saparikharang, Bhikkhu Sangha Sadema. Along with these requisites, I offer this dana to the Bhikkhu Sangha. Or if you want to include Bhikkhuni Sangha, you could say Bhikkhuni Sangha. Even without that, just Sangha can also represent all of them. And apart from that, even if you say Bhikkhu Sangha, it is all right. You will actually connect even the bhikkhus and bhikkhuni. In many cases, the Buddha has addressed bhikkhave, so it is all bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, in fact, that he was referring to. So when we offer something, we always mention that it is not those monks who are sitting in front of you, but those monks who have lived in the past, all those great Arahanta monks, including the Buddha, like in the Dakina Vibhaga Sutta Buddha mentioned, including the Buddha himself. So we offer something to the Sangha, means all the monks, all those great Arahanta monks, Anagami, non-returners, Sakadagami, once returners, and Sotapanna, the stream enterers, and all those Tipitaka monks, all those monks who are on the way to the Nibbana, on the way while practicing, they are all included. All those hundreds and thousands of monks and nuns in the past are included when you say Bhikkhu Sangha. And today, all the monks and nuns who are living in this world, wherever they are, even if they are Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, whosoever, and they practice the path of the Buddha. And also, if we see like the monks and nuns in so many different countries, um, Asian countries or Western countries, wherever they are, even in Africa, there are monks now who are practicing, and they are all included. Wherever, whichever country they represent, they wear the robe. Maybe they wear different colors, remember, and they might wear the white saffron color, or maybe gray color. Different colors can be there depending on their culture, maybe depending on their different weather or geographical situations. The robe, the color must have changed, but they still pay respect to that robe. And I have seen them with utmost respect and care. They wear the robe, and so all of them are so important. Such worthy monks and nuns are there in this world today, and all of them are included when you say Sangha. And when you say the um, the Sangha are all the monks and nuns who are going to appear in this world, and as long as they appear in this world during this Buddha Sasana, and all of them will be included. Remember when we say, when we also recite, pay salutation to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, we say, Yecha Buddha Titacha, Yecha Buddha Nagata, Pachupanna Che Buddha, Ahangvandami Sabbata. Those Buddhas in the past, in the present, and in the future, I will respect all of them. I will bow to all of them. Yecha Dhamma Titacha, Yecha Dhamma Anagata, Pachupanna Che Dhamma, Ahangvandami Sabbata. So the Dhamma in the past, in the present, in the future, all these Dhamma, the doctrine, the teaching, I pay homage to. Yecha Sangha Titaja, Yecha Sangha Anagata, Pachupanna Je Sangha, Ahangvanda Visabhada. All the Sangha members in the past, in the future, and at present, I pay homage to them. I pay respect to all of them. That is why these monks and these nuns are these Sangha members, the community of disciples of the Buddha, the Arya Savakas, noble Arya Savakas are so worthy, so precious to all of us. And when you offer something to the Mahasangha, do not think of them as just personal. I know this monk. Okay, I know this monk by name, so I offer this dana to this particular monk. You don't say that. You just say Sangha. And that represents all the Sangha in the past, in the present, and in the future. So you can generate an immeasurable, wholesome karma by practicing that generosity. And this is very important. By bowing to the monks, also think of them. Think of all the Sangha disciples, the monks and nuns in the past, in the future, and at present, wherever they are. All of them are included. That is why we really can see the immeasurable merit of the Sangha. And remember one more thing we need to remember. That is, even if you say something bad about the monks or nuns, if you um, maybe due to some personal reason, you might blame someone or one monk or one nun. Remember, we can also generate a really, really powerful, bad, unwholesome karma. Because when you pay monk and nun, just like we offer something and we generate a good, powerful karma, so is this the karma that we can generate negatively if we have negative reactions to them. So we need to be really careful when we deal with the Mahasangha members. Remember, the Mahasangha members have also been compared to the lay people and the Mahasangha members. It is like we have to be very carefully dealt with them because they are so different. Like a layperson and Sangha, sometimes it is compared to the fire and the cotton. So we have to be careful. We need to have a respectable distance, and that way we can make our journey much more better and comfortable. Okay, so having said that, there are other things that I would like to say that the one sutta, as I promised, I think we have few more minutes only, but it's okay. Maybe I could also take this sutta later on. Because if we don't have time. But the sutta I will um, shortly mention is the Ratana Sutta. In this Ratana Sutta, the Buddha has mentioned the power of the triple gem. And in Dajjaka Sutta also, the Buddha has mentioned the power of the triple gem. In Dajjaka Sutta, it is said the Devas, the king of Devas, Deva Sakka, and he mentioned if there is any fear or any discomfort to any of the devas, you think of those. You think of the flag of myself, Dhajat Agga. You see the tip of the flag, so that you can actually feel comfortable. That's true. Like let's say, like you're practicing meditation with a master, with a teacher, and when you see him around, you feel more comfortable. And when your leader is there around, you feel more comfortable. So the Buddha said, yeah, if you have any discomfort, the God Sakka, he said, when you feel uncomfortable, think of my flag. the tip of the flag, when you see, you will feel comfortable. And then if you don't see that, you think of the other four guardian angels, their flags, one by one. You see, you will feel comfortable, you will feel safe. And the Buddha said, um, well, you could say it is not really the uh, final safety and security when you see the devas, because avita rago, avita doso, avita moho, they have not completely eliminated the raga dosa moha, the greed, hatred, and delusion. They have not eliminated, abandoned them. Therefore, you really can't see the security and safety by following them. This is very important. So, if you want to see the safety, if you want to seek safety and security for yourself, the best way is to um, see the triple gem. That is the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Why? Because Buddha Dhamma Sangha, they, they are worthy of being followed and worthy of being respected, because they are Vita Raga, Vita Dosa, and Vita Moha. They don't have any raga dosa moha, no greed, no hatred, no delusion in them. Therefore, the triple gem is so much powerful, and that is why when there was a triple fear, phobia in the city of Vaishali or Vaisali, and the Buddha uh, as Venerable Ananda, the personal attendant of him, to use the Buddha's personal alms bowl, and along with the blessing water, recite the Ratana Sutta and sprinkle the water everywhere around the city, and that way they were feeling better. This is mm, the stanza that I use actually. Koti sata sahasesu chakravalesu devata yakkanam patiganantu yancha vesaliam puri roga manussa dupika sambhutam tividham bhayam chippa mantara dhapesi haritang thang manamahe. So koti sata sahasa means hundreds and thousands of chakavalas, the galaxies, and Devata, all the Devas, and all of them, they are so happy. They should be so happy because the humans actually pay respect to them, bow to them, and they always do offer offerings to them. And so the Buddha said, there were triple fears, Roga, Amanusa, and Dupika. Roga Bhaya is the pandemic like scenario in the city. So everywhere, the sickness, disease, kind of a virus was spreading widespread in the city of Vesali. And many people were dying, and they were very scared. And then also the city was haunted by the spirits, and many negative energies were there, and the people were possessed by the devils and evils, and they were not really doing what they were supposed to do. They have lost control of their inner peace, and so they were really not feeling comfortable. So Roga and Amanusa, and also Dubbika, and the food. So all these three can be interconnected, mutually helpful, and the city of Vesali was a total mess and total disaster. I sometimes feel like, for example, in today's context, when we see the the war in some countries, some regions, and you see how um, they are not feeling comfortable. The people have built wonderful cities and parks and buildings and their lives and everything. They have been shattered into pieces in a matter of few days and weeks and months. And now sometimes you can see them like ghost cities. It's so amazing, so heartening, disheartening, and heartbreaking to see such situations in the world. And they are also maybe kind of traumatized and kind of haunted by these triple sickness. So the Buddha asked Venerable Ananda and the Mahasangha members, the great Arahanta members, to go around and sprinkle the water by chanting the Ratana Sutta. So in the Ratana Sutta, the Buddha said, talks about um, the the triple gem. Tasma hi bhuta nisame sabbe mettan karotha manusiya pajaya. Divacha ratto jahang te baling tasma hi nerakata appamatta. O beings, listen closely. May you all radiate loving kindness to those human beings who by day and night bring offerings to you, offer merits to you, wherever. Wherefore, protect them with diligence. And so it continues to explain the power of the triple gem. And yang kinci bitang idhava hurangwa sagge suwa yang ratanang anintang nano samang attitathagaten idampi buddhe ratanam panitam etena satyen suvatikoto. Whatever treasure there be, either here or in the world beyond, whatever precious jewel there be in the heavenly worlds, there is not comparable to the Tathagata. This precious jewel is the Buddha. By this assertion of the truth, may there be happiness. So the power of the Buddha is explained here. And Kayang Viragang Amatang Panitang Yadajaga Sakya Muni Samahito Natena Dhammena Samadhi Kinchi Idampi Dhamme Ratana Panitang Etena Satyena Swati Rotu. That cessation, that detachment, that deathlessness, Nibbana, supreme, the calm and collected Shakya's head, the Buddha had realized there is no comparable to this Nibbana, the Dhamma. This precious jewel is the Dhamma. By this assertion of the truth, may there be happiness. And then when we have another one, I'll go to the most of the sutta actually talks about the power of the Sangha, and we also have few stanzas that talk about the Buddha and the Dhamma. I will go to Sangha. Ye Pugala Atta Satang Pasatta Chattari etani yugani honti te dakhineya sugatassa savaka ete sudinnani mahaphalani idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena sachena suvatyata. Actually, we already mentioned about this when we were reciting, when we were explaining the Supatipanno stanza. The 8 persons extolled by virtuous people constitute 4 pairs. They are the disciples of the Buddha and are worthy of offerings. Gifts given to them yield rich results. This precious jewel is the Sangha. By this affirmation, may there be happiness. So this sutta talks about the other powerful virtues of the Sangha and also the Buddha and the Dhamma too. And when the Venerable Ananda and the other Mahasangha members, when they were reciting this Ratana Sutta, out of compassion for the world, for those people who suffer, and the whole city was released from all those triple fears, and they feel comfortable and they feel safe, and the city came back to normalcy, that is said. So even today, when there is someone who is suffering, who is sick, and the Venerable Mahasangha used to recite the Ratana Sutra. I just mentioned shortly, I need a separate day to explain the whole thing. This is a really, really powerful chanting, powerful sutta. Hopefully, I could explain them in detail later on. I just wanted to give you uh, a glimpse of this sutta and a glimpse of the power of the triple gem so that we can feel more connected to the triple gem, and we can make our life meaningful, comfortable, and peaceful, and also learn the Dhamma, practice the Dhamma, and eventually come out of this samsara and eventually attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. That is it for today, and thank you so much for joining us. May you all be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever you are. May the noble triple gem bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the light path. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Bhante, for explaining it in so simple words. And indeed, a person who understands the true power of the triple gem would be entering this path all the way to the Nibbana. Thank you so much, Bhante.
Thank
We
you.
have we have questions, Bhante, with your permission.
Yes.
Maybe we can. Yes. This question is from Wheel of Wisdom. If the Buddha had declined the Brahma's request to initially teach the Dhamma, how would this movement had historically affected the practice in Buddhism in modern day? Would the triple gem exist today?
Yeah. This looks like um, uh, yeah, logical. It looks like if the Buddha did not preach Dhamma, we don't have Tripajan. Yeah, there, but that is actually the initial hesitation of the Buddha, even the Buddha, because Dhamma was so profound, and it was not easy to teach the Dhamma. It's easy for people to, when we talk about all the mundane things, all the worldly things, it's easier to encourage them, motivate them. But it's so hard to um, lead someone to the Dhamma. Even today, we have millions of followers of the Buddha Dhamma, and many of them probably are not following the right way, probably. And so, it is some people just feel comfortable just chanting or something, but there are much more. There are so many other facets of Buddhism, the Buddha Dhamma, that we need to focus on. And a lot of people don't even um, pay attention to the sutta studies, for example, the power of the sutta, maybe the Abhidhamma. They are so powerful. And the practice of meditation, for example, if we talk about them, if we organize them, a meditation event, a lot of people don't even attend. So just a few people attend. And we know it is so not so encouraging for everyone. It's not so fascinating, probably. And there should be a very specific, very special person with some special need, they actually would go and practice the Dhamma. So the Buddha was thinking, after all these um, years and births of his paramita and his hard work, uh, is it going to be helpful? Is it going to work if I teach the Dhamma to all these people? They will not even listen to it. And but he would definitely go. The Buddha, the Brahma, Brahma it is said. So according to the legend, actually, it is the tradition. Someone needs to invite the monks, even the monks. If you invite, we will teach the Dhamma. But today, luckily, we have online versions. Even then, you see, like today, Archana invited me to offer the Dhamma talk. So someone invite us, and then we can go and teach the Dhamma. And the Buddha was also. This is the tradition. So the, that was the set format. So someone had to invite, and so the Buddha was waiting, and Mahabrahma said, if there are people with less defilements, probably they will be helped if you teach the Dhamma. And there are so many Devas and Brahmas just waiting to listen to your first Dhamma teaching. And so Buddha actually knew this. It's not that he was totally ignorant. He knew exactly what was there, but he knew also it is very challenging, and that is why he actually trained the monks, the first 60 disciples. He said, Charata Bhikkhave Charikam Bahujana Hitaya Bahujana Sukhaya Attaya Hitaya Sukhaya Deva Manusana Ma Ekena Dve Adamita. Monks, go forward, help them travel around and teach the Dhamma and help the people who are in need of the Dhamma. And you can go alone so that you can actually help more people. And if you two people go together, you probably might miss another opportunity to reach out to other people. So walk alone as much as you can, and go forward, help the people out of compassion for the world, not only humans but also the others, devas and other beings too, even the animals, maybe celestial beings, maybe um, the spirit beings. We out of compassion, unconditional support for them, out of compassion, loving kindness, we need to go and treat them, and that is how it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bhante, and thank you, Wheel of Wisdom, for that question. Seriously, it was very difficult, but I'm so glad that every Sama Sambuddha would help everyone out of compassion to show this path, and because of him, we could also get rid of all the defilements. Uh, so, thank you, Bhante, for explaining it.
Yeah, we also need to remember that the Buddha slept only 2 hours, and he walked all the way. He lived such a simple life, and teaching the Dhamma, preaching and showing the path. So it is so important that we think of the Dhamma and how the Buddha's sacrifice. He attained this enlightenment not only for himself, and he rescued almost every single family members, and
Yes.
he rescued many millions and millions of other people. And so he dedicated his life and energy, time and effort to benefit the others.
True, yes. And such is the power of the Sammasambuddha that when he was like 2600 years back, so many people got arahanthood. And still, if Buddha is not here, but based on his that powerful Dhamma, even today people experiencing that arahanthood, the sadhava to all those people who are following it and doing and practicing it so seriously.
Yeah, that is why like the Dhamma is there today. If you want to see the Buddha, see the Dhamma. You will
Yes,
see the Buddha.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Bhante. We have one question from Meenal Shah. Does Sangha also include those devas or brahmas who got Sotapanna, Sakaragami, Anagami fruit by following Dhamma when Buddha was on earth 2600 years back, including even those disciples were monastics or lay disciples who got fruit during Buddha's Sangha? Are they also considered the part of the Sangha?
Yeah, so when we say the Sangha, Normally, when we say Sangha, it is the monks and nuns. Um, but to be a part of this Arya Savaka, you can be an Arya Savaka too. You know, Sangha means community, definitely not one person. So, but when we talk about the Sangha, it is mostly the monks and nuns, and those people who have renounced the world and who have actually practiced, and they are like guardians of the Dhamma. And without the monks and nuns, it is so hard to preserve the Dhamma. Today, whatever we have with us today is because of that enormous sacrifice of the Mahasabha. So we need to really pay respect to that. Lay people are so busy with their lay mundane activities, but then I don't say no to other people, even the lay people, when they practice the Dhamma, when they also attain Sotapanna or Sakadagami or Nagami, and even the Devas and Brahmas, yeah, they can also be Arya Savaka.
I couldn't find that in your Apple Music library. You can ask me to play a radio station or ask for your music on a different app.
I see some
Yeah,
interruptions in the video, Bhante.
yeah. So, I think Siri was active. Right. So, um, what is important? All of us have the capacity to become an Arya Savaka when you attain Sotapanna. Whether you are a man or a woman, whether you are a human or a non-human, you have the capacity, you have the power of being part of this noble Arya Savaka. And the most important, we have the Dhamma, so we need to practice. And then we need to attain the Sotapanna at least. That way we can be a part of the Arya Savaka. Remember, like Chattari Puris Yugani. So, so those four pairs of persons, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta, Magga, Phala. These are the people. These are the Atta-purusha Puttaras, noble, eightfold. And yes, they can also be um, included into the noble, um, noble Arya Savaka. But remember, like when we say, usually, although the word meaning Sangha means community, but here we actually mean by the community is the Sangha, the noble community of the Mahasangha.
Thank you, Bhante. There's one question from Julie. Can you give specific examples of experiences the lay people can turn to the power of the triple gem? For example, the challenge of following the eight precepts, pain in the body. Other life examples, please.
Yeah, like how how some of those lay disciples have become part of the triple gem, how they have been empowered with the power of the triple gem. Remember Anatha Pindika? He was a millionaire. He was a businessman, very busy person. But then he was practicing the Dhamma. He realized what he was supposed to do, and he was, following the right path, and he was not doing anything wrong. He was actually doing a righteous business, and that way he could attain Sotapanna. Visakha was also a layperson, lay devotee who could attain Sotapanna. And so it is not impossible for lay people to attain Sotapanna, and how they can also turn their life uh, into practice. Like you, I know, Julie also is a wonderful practitioner. So as a layperson, you can also become a Sotapanna. there is no one stopping you if you want to become a noble person, just like that. So it is not only the 5 precepts, yes, not only the 8 precepts, yes, you can practice more. But the most important thing is you need to take it seriously. Even 5 precepts, although it looks very simple and less in number, but the gravity of the 5 precepts actually um, has the profound establishment of the whole spiritual journey. Like when we say Panatipata Veramani, Sikkhapada Samadhiyami, what does it mean? I undertake the precept to observe, uh, uh, um, the precept to abstain from taking life or killing living beings. What does it mean? You do not harm anyone. You do not hurt anyone. And so one is Kalyane Nivesenti, the other is Papa Nivaranti. Two sides are there. One is Papa Nivaranti. First, we need to avoid uh, the wrong thing, wrongdoing, and two, Kalyane Nivesenti, that is doing the right thing. So when we practice the first precept, out of the 5, you don't do anything to harm anyone, and also you don't allow your friends, your family members, your community people, you also make some effort to avoid them from doing something. So you also have to encourage them to do the right thing. That is your moral duty also. So when you practice yourself, you are helping yourself, yes, and you are helping others, and also your near and dear ones. You can also help them to practice the path. And remember, it is also connected to loving kindness, and it is connected to metta, karuna, mudita, upekha, the four Brahma Viharas. So that unconditional loving kindness to all sentient beings without any margin, without any boundary, boundless love, unconditional love, you can practice. That is why it is so important. When you practice even the first precept, it is so profound. You know how we can, even by word, by deed, by thought, you don't harm anyone. Just imagine, like even in your heart, you don't wish ill for others. That can be the gravity of the first precept is so profound. So even if you practice the 5 precepts profoundly, and that makes so much sense to you. And same thing with the stealing, taking things not given. How the Upasampada monks, for example, you know how it happens. Like they don't even touch if they are not given. So you have to offer them because they scare they might break the precept of taking things not given. And that is why the monks, some monks are very concerned about that. And um, the so I would say, like when you respect life, others' life, your life will also be respected. When you respect others' property, your property will be respected. When you respect others' family, your family will be respected. How important it is. You can respect your family when you are a reliable person, a respected person in the community, because you respect others' family. And these are really profound, very powerful. They are not so simple. Although it looks less in number, they can be connected to many more smaller, minor precepts in general. And also, Musavada Veramani, when you say you don't tell lies, also be connected to other other speeches like Musawada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, Sampapalapa. All these four can be connected to each other. Like you don't tell lies, and also you don't use harsh words to hurt others, and you don't use slandering, and you don't use any frivolous speech or useless speech to that doesn't make any sense. So these are all part of the fourth precept. And then the last one among the five precepts come what do you call Suramere Madhyapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiya. I undertake to observe the precept to abstain from drinks and drugs that cause intoxication or heedlessness. So these drinks and drugs can also make so much of a mess in our life, and it can actually it can harm, it can damage our wisdom, our intellectual capacity. So we can take correct decision, we can take right decision, and even though it is placed fifth, this can actually encourage someone to break all the other rest of the silas. So all these five precepts, although they look less in number, they are so powerful. They are so profound if you seriously practice them. So I think when we, that is why we actually need to practice, need to recite these every day, so we can be reminded of the power of the 5%. And when it comes to eight precepts, this is where we actually start how to abandon things, like our attachment, our craving for things. For example, Vikala Bhojana, the ahara tanha, or the craving for food, is tremendously powerful to me. We know that how you are so tempted to eat many different dishes, many venues and are located everywhere. So you are so encouraged, you are so tempted to eat many different styles of food. And so first here, at least once a week or once a month, you get rid of that craving for food. Ahara tanha. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadam. So you get rid of the food, no solid food afternoon. That makes you so simple, and it's so light for you to survive and practice, especially. And the more we eat, actually, the more toxic we become. That is the truth. Today, especially, with so much processed food, the more we eat, the more harmful it becomes. And less we eat, the more beneficial it becomes, and we feel much comfortable in our body when we eat less. So I think Vikara Bhojana is a truly helpful thing today. And we don't need to eat so much food. Like the monks used to say, when they eat, they used to say, Nevadavaya Namadaya Namandanaya Navibhusanaya Yavadeva Imasakaya Satipya Yapanaya Vihinsu Paratya Brahmacharyanugrahaya Iti Puranancha Vedanam Patihankami Navancha Vedanam Upadisami Yatracha Me Bhavisati Anavadhitaja Bhasa Viharojati. Wisely reflecting, I use alms food not for fun, not for pleasure, not for adornment, not for beauty, only for the nourishment and health of this body and for sustaining my spiritual practice. I will eliminate old unpleasant feelings and I will not produce new unpleasant feelings. This way, I will be blameless and comfortable. That is why they contemplate. They do this pachavekana before eating, and that really helps them. And so we can control our senses. Let's say so many delicious, yummy food there on your table, and you see the beautiful, colorful things and very good smell, aroma, and then you decide, no, it's okay. I don't need to eat so much. I eat only a little. You can control that. Even like trying to be a vegetarian, for example, so you see the other non-veg food and so delicious and yummy, and then you decide, no, I'm okay. I'm not going to eat it. It's okay. I can survive with this little food. I don't need so much food. And same thing when it comes to seventh rule, beautification and entertainment. You get rid of them. Once in a while, you need to get rid of them because, for example, music or entertainment, people really, really are fond of them, and maybe even um, personal beautification like makeup and all these things, perfume, and all those things. People really feel very fond of them, and so once in a while you need to be real you. You need to be original. So you can feel the fresh air um, kissing your body. You feel comfortable then. You feel organic, I think, when you do that. Now, nowadays, people, when they are so much, coated with so many layers and layers of these things, and you don't really feel the touch. You can't really go today. For example, after the pandemic, we see like people who used to wear the mask, and they have lost their natural immune system, and when they go out without the mask, they can easily get sick. You see how it happens? Like that natural organic system we have lost. So I think it is so important. We need to think of them, and so we don't underestimate. Even the lay people can do that. If you live a simple life, humble life, even the five precepts can be so powerful. You can generate so much good, and you can, of course, practice more, learn more. The suttas, learning the suttas and other teachings can be very helpful to you to attain the nibbana. Sometimes a layperson can also feel, I think, in a way, it is easier for them because you don't need to practice so many silas like the monks and nuns. You have only 5, 8, and 10. So easier for you to actually attain the nibbana. At least sotapanna. Once you attain sotapanna, your final liberation is guaranteed.
Yes, thank you. And even the eight precept Bhante, Uchasayan, Mahasayan, it makes us so simple and so humble that we don't need the luxurious, high-rise, comfortable beds, but we can even sleep having the same body on the ground because it's all about mind also.
Right, because like today, like earlier, previously, we used to sit on the floor, and now we also have the toilet system. For example, it was a good squatting exercise. Now people have commode, and it's like you are sitting on a chair, and you always sit on a chair, and you can sit on the floor. You see, you have lost your natural immune system, your capacity, your flexibility. You have lost, and some people say they can sit on the floor because they don't do it anymore. They have they have actually got rid of. I think we need to be closer to the Mother Earth. The more we are closer to the Mother Earth, we become more organic, and we become more immunely powerful. Our immune system becomes more powerful. The more elevate we become away from the Mother Earth, we actually lose touch, lose contact of the power of the Mother. So yes, it is very helpful for us to once in a while at least sit on the floor. I actually encourage people to sit on the floor as much as you can at your home also. Um, I know, like, you need to have a place where you can sit on the floor and take a tea or work with your computer or read a book or chit chat with your friends. Like many of the Asian countries, they used to have this tradition. And slowly we are buying furniture, and so you think it is so comfortable, and you see how eventually we actually are losing our our ground. We are losing our ground. We are away from segregating from our mother. That is the truth. So it's important to sit on the floor.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhante. I do not see any question, but there's a comment from Wheel of Wisdom that the gravity of words, thoughts, and actions have a significant effect with the people around us. So we always need to be extra careful with our interactions.
Yeah, that's right. Think of your words, think of your thoughts, think of your deeds. That will be a kind of a shortcut to Nibbana. Because through these sense doors only we can make anything wrong. So if we focus on that, that will actually make like 10 wholesome, one wholesome deeds that we do through these words, deeds, and thoughts. Yeah, that's right. So we have to be more mindful. We have to be more careful. Whenever we say things, whenever we do things, even when we think, we need to be mindful. Then it helps us. It definitely helps us. Thank you, Mini.
Um, we do not have any further questions, Bhante.
Okay.
So, thank you so much, Bhante. I'm so grateful to you for the Dhammadana, Dhamma shared you today in so simple words, and it was so easy to grasp. And thanks and tons of best wishes to you, Bhante. May you be successful and attain this Arhanta. And I would like to say thanks to all our participants who every Sunday come here and ask the questions and attend the Dhamma sessions. So thank you to all our viewers as well. And thank you, Bhante.
Thank you
With
so much. Thank you. May you all be well, happy, healthy. May the Noble Triple Gem game empower you, and may you be able to see the light, see the Dhamma, and get rid of this samsara. May all you and your family members, friends and relatives, teachers and elders also be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem. May you and your loved ones, near and dear ones, teachers and elders, friends and relatives, everyone in your family, everyone in your community, be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever you are. May no harm come to you from water, fire, air. May you always be safe and protected wherever you are. May you be able to live your life peacefully, comfortably with good health. May all of your departed ones also receive this merit, share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. May all of you, may all of them, may all sentient beings, including devas, brahmas, be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking thus, please say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu.
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Bhante.